They look kind of like little grapes.
Do, a little bit. No!
So the cans are all well and good if you grew up on canned cranberry sauce. But
Which I
today, today we're gonna actually make cranberry sauce.
It's pretty straightforward. You can do it. Your cranberries are probably in a smaller bag, but I've gotten the jumbo bag for ours. We need to rinse these first and then we'll sort them.
Yes, dear.
Once they're rinsed, spread them out on a tray.
They look kind of like little grapes.
Do, a little bit. No, they're gonna be so sour.
Oh. Don't do that.
Cranberries are very sour. They're actually a wonderful fruit, great vitamins and lots of fiber, but you have to load them up with a lot of sugar, so they lose a lot of their health value.
Oh.
Well, to sort your cranberries, you need to just run your hand across and you'll feel some that are soft and mushy. The soft and mushy ones get pulled aside. If it's yucky like that, it's out. Once your cranberries are sorted, we're ready to begin the sauce.
By getting rid of the cranberries.
Get rid of the cranberries. To get started, I'm gonna have Doug measure 3 cups of cranberries. If you have the standard cranberry bag, that's about right for you. Meanwhile, to make this a spiced cranberry sauce, I'm going to add the zest of an orange, a cinnamon stick, and 3 whole cloves.
Of?
Cloves.
Oh.
1 cup of water, 1 cup of sugar, and the zest of an orange. To that, we'll add the cranberries. We're gonna bring these cranberries to a simmer and let them boil for at least 10 minutes, a minimum of 10 minutes.
They float.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so we've just put cranberries, water, and sugar in here. And this magically turns into a jelly?
Yes, the magic of cranberries is they contain an awful lot of pectin. Pectin is a natural fruit fiber that will gel when it's in the presence of sugar and an acid. Now, cranberries are also acidic. So between the acid and the pectin in there, all you really need to do is add a little water and sugar and it will turn to a gel. The longer you boil it, the more gel-like it will be. So we need to boil this for a minimum of 10 minutes so that we get that saucy consistency rather than just water and fruit. So as these come to a boil, they'll begin to pop and you'll start to hear them popping. Look at those skins breaking open. That's exactly what we want for those pectins to be released. Once it's good and boiling, you'll turn down the temperature a little bit and simmer for 10 minutes.
Be sure to stir occasionally during this 10 minutes.
I can already see it starting to thicken.
Jelly. And can you go all the way to like cranberry jelly, like for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
You absolutely can. And I have actually boiled cranberries long enough to make kind of fruit leather. That was an accident, but it's tasty.
Fruit leather?
At this point, I'm going to fish out that cinnamon stick and the cloves.
Good luck.
My glass is fogged up. I fished out the cinnamon and cloves. Go along with it.
Go along. Yeah, there's no more cloves in this.
At this point, if you want whole berry cranberry sauce, you are done. Pull this off the heat, set it aside, let it cool down a little bit. Don't put this very hot mixture in your nice serving dish. It might break. Once it's cooled a little bit, you can put it in your serving dish and either refrigerate or serve it warm if that's how you prefer it. But if you want jellied cranberries, we're gonna break these cranberries down a little more by boiling for another 5 to 10 minutes. That's where we're headed. This has turned a deep, deep burgundy and it has gotten quite thick, so we are ready to strain. Still has some bits of berries in it, although most of them have broken down. Just kind of mash it against the, yes. You can do it this way, or you could use a food processor or blender. Now it will cling to the bottom and you can kind of scrape it off. I feel like we should get the blender out. Plan B to expedite this process is to put all of this cranberry goodness into the bowl. We'll make real quick work of this.
Puree.
That is a beautiful color, look at that. So you might want to wear an apron or a dark colored shirt in case you're gonna get cranberry sauce on yourself.
Learn from my lesson, kids.
This cranberry sauce will be beautiful in a jar, or if you're happy like me to have little can rings on it, you could pour it in an empty can and it'll slide out later. I'm going to use a jar for this. My jar funnel has gone missing, so I'm spooning the cranberry sauce into the jar. This can be refrigerated for up to 2 weeks until you're ready to eat it. Cranberry sauce is delicious and traditional, but if you're looking for something a little next level, my very favorite is candied cranberries. We don't actually cook the cranberries for this recipe, but we are going to dissolve a ton of sugar in water and orange juice to get us started. This recipe calls for a cup of water, a cup of orange juice, and 500 grams, that's 2.5 cups of sugar. We are going to get this liquid to its saturation point with sugar. We are making a thick syrup. While that is warming up, I'm going to add the zest of 1 orange. Now, actually, I almost always do 2 oranges because I love the candied orange peels that come out of this. If you don't like candied orange peel, go ahead and just use the microplane and do the zest inside in small little bits. It'll add great flavor, but you won't have to chew it. But I like the candied orange peel. So I make little 1-inch strips with my zester. This does not need to boil. We're gonna stir it over medium heat just until the sugar is dissolved. Once the sugar is dissolved, we pour it into a covered container. And while the syrup is still warm, we pour in 12 ounces, that's a standard size bag of fresh cranberries. The cranberries will float in the syrup, but you're going to cover it with a lid and store it in the refrigerator. Overnight is best, but at least 4 hours. Now that your cranberries have chilled overnight in the refrigerator and absorbed a lot of that orange flavor and all of that sugar, maybe not all of it,
Most of it.
we're going to use a slotted spoon and strain the cranberries, these sticky cranberries, into a bowl or even a Ziploc bag.
I feel like the sticky cranberry warning is aimed at me.
Doug is going to sprinkle the top of these sticky cranberries with sugar. Probably gonna wanna get closer to that 1/4 cup. Doesn't have to be exact. We're really just eyeballing until they stop sticking together and are separable and coated heavily in sugar. Keep going, keep going. All that sugar. You can just dump it right on top.
Are you serious?
Yes. It's gonna need more, but we're gonna toss these. See, they're still sticking together. More.
Is there a risk of over-sugaring?
I'm sure there is, but the extra sugar will slide off. So you can see that this sugar acts like glitter or snow on these cranberries. Now, once you've gotten them good and coated, we pour this onto a papered pan or a silicone mat, and I wanna get all those good orange peels too. And then we separate them on the sheet and allow them to dry. These take several hours to dry, and you may notice that they will require some more sugar as they go. You may want to sprinkle a little here and there if they're looking a little too shiny and not glittery.
They might need more sugar?
Yes, because we want it to look more like these, where you can see some dried sugar. So when you have some of these that don't really have a glitter effect, but just a crust of sugar on top, go ahead and sprinkle them with a little more dry sugar.
Thank goodness, I was concerned there wasn't enough sugar.
These should be left to dry for about 4 hours, and then they can be put back in the refrigerator in a zip top bag. And don't worry about that leftover bowl of orange cranberry syrup. It's good on oatmeal or yogurt. You can use that for a lot of things.
So if you like this, hit thumbs up, and if you want to stick around for more kitchen fun and recipes, hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time.